Okay, episode 2, part 2. I think one of the things I also want to talk about is the fact that there's still a stigma about mental health, especially in the Asian countries, that people don't want to talk about mental health. Interestingly enough, most people in those regions are probably need more help and support. I think a lot of women are on antidepressants or they try and use coping mechanisms, but they are highly, highly depressed. And I'm not trying to use a generalization here, but I come across that a lot. And I think that there are a lot of challenges are happening in the Asian subcontinent, in the Arab world as well as in the Western Europe globally. Look, it's happening globally, some more than others. But I think that we need to allow people to understand that mental health isn't a stigma. We need to improve our mental health on a daily basis. We need to feel good, because if we feel good, everything flows. I can guarantee it. Everything is smooth, no matter how difficult the situation is. You can feel good within you, not be triggered by it, not get resentful by it, by angry by it, by stressed or depressed by it. So it's very, very important to have practices that are taking care of your mental well-being. Now, COVID situation really accelerated people's understanding of mental health, and now we're seeing more and more companies really taking care of people or really aware of that issue, and they're making sure that they are doing as much as they can to help people in their mental health and their mental well-being, which is great. Because I know there were some companies who didn't even acknowledge that there was issues with mental health. So that's one thing. And also I feel that the self-help section of a bookshop should never be stigmatized either. I never understood why there was so much stigmatism to it, because the whole point is self-help. You help yourself. Isn't that positive? And yes, I mean, maybe there's like in the 1970s, there was some stigma to it that continued to go into the 80s, perhaps maybe the 90s. But there are more and more people now talking about mental health, how it's so important to be happy, positive. And we're not talking about toxic positivity, where we just be happy, 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 and that nothing else happens in our life, because that doesn't work. That doesn't happen. But it's about how you learn to deal with things on a day-to-day basis, but from a place of feeling good about you and not being triggered by it. Now, I mean, I've done a lot of work on myself, as you know, because of all the things I've been through, and I will be interviewing some of my healers and talking about it in more detail. But I think the key thing, if you really want to improve your life, if you really want to get to that quantum evolution, if you want to change your life, no matter where you are, the key thing is to start working at subconscious level. Start changing your thoughts, because your thoughts are so powerful. Your mind is so powerful, more than you think. We're born and we're given this superpower brain. We're never given any instructions on how to use it. So now there are more and more people like Marissa Peer, Paul McKenna, all these other people who work at subconscious level and how to use your brain. We've also got on the science side, like Dr. Huberman and other people like that who talk, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, who talk about this, about your mind, the energy, how your thoughts and emotions can dictate your behaviors, and how it could be detrimental to you or could be positive to you. So the key thing, if you really, really want to change your life, and if you really want to do it quickly, you have to do it at the subconscious level. You're holding emotional baggage, trauma, belief systems, learned behaviors that you may not even be aware of. I mean, everyone on this planet right now, as an adult, has a default setting that's been created from 0 to 10 years old. And even if you're at the conscious level, you're going by your day, doing things day to day, you always slip back at hypnotic state. And then you see the world from that filter. And sometimes you don't realize why you're feeling anxious, why you didn't speak up in a meeting when you've got a PhD in microbiology and you're the most qualified person in the room. You don't understand why suddenly you're having a panic attack when you're just about to get onto a tube or getting into a car. And these are things because your mind is very, very clever, and it will pick up patterns and things, and it will relate it back to the past. And that's when you sometimes have a panic attack, you have anxiety, you can't speak up, you have a fear of speaking up. This could be in the workplace as an adult. It could be with dealing with your spouse or with your children. And you're thinking, what's happening? Why am I behaving like this? What's going on? So you need to understand that your subconscious mind is so powerful, and you need to work on that to really change anything in your life. I think the first thing is to make sure that you become aware of things in your life, and then sometimes you have no clue of why you do the things you do. There were many people who had no clue until we went to the root cause. We used hypnotherapy, we used RTT to get back to the root cause to find out what was going on. And then they have this epiphany moment. So I think that, if you really want to change your life, and I've done all forms of therapy, you really need to accelerate your life. Start with your subconscious mind. Start with working and using hypnotherapy. It's extremely powerful. And let me tell you, it's not like what you see in the movies. It's not like what you see on the stage. No one takes over your mind. How I would describe hypnotherapy would be you're in a relaxed state, like you would be in the morning snoozing when you wake up, when the alarm goes off and your body's really relaxed, but your mind is alert. That's the state you're in. You're always in control. And that's where you can access your subconscious level and access the things that may have triggered you or created an anxiety or a behavior that's not serving you. So, that said, if you want to find out more about how I work with my clients and what I do, if you want to find out more about, hypnotherapy, then you can find out more about my page. You can Google hypnotherapy. You don't have to come to my page. You can go to anyone's page and Google hypnotherapy. Go to Marissa Peer's website. She has a lot of information as well. I want to give as much as I can, and I hope that helps. And if you have any comments, if you have any questions, DM me, email me. Send any message you can. Send a comment on the videos that I create, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's wherever. Okay? Reach out. I can always help. I can always answer any questions.